Welcome to this explainer. Look, today we're going to completely de-escalate your plant parent panic and diagnose exactly why those precious leaves are hitting the floor. We've literally all been there, right? You walk into the room and your absolute favorite houseplant has suddenly shed a whole layer of foliage. It's heartbreaking, and honestly, it usually sends us into a total spiral of overcaring. But today we're taking a structured, scientific approach to figure out the top 6 causes of leaf drop, and much more importantly, how you can fix every single one of them.
So let's dive right in by reframing the situation entirely. Your plant isn't betraying you, and it honestly isn't necessarily dying. When a plant drops its leaves, it's actually performing a highly calculated act of self-preservation. Think of it like a captain ordering the crew to abandon ship on a specific deck just to keep the rest of the vessel afloat. You see, leaves are a plant's power stations for photosynthesis, but they're also where the plant loses the most water through transpiration. When a plant is under severe stress, maintaining all of that lush foliage becomes this massive energy drain it simply can't afford. So it sheds leaves to conserve energy and survive.
And this brilliant biological mechanism really proves that point. Leaf drop isn't just a leaf getting weak and randomly falling off, it's an active process. When stressed, whether that's from bad watering, dying roots, or just environmental shock, the plant purposefully builds a tiny wall of cells, called the abscission layer, right at the base of the leaf stem. This layer effectively severs the leaf from the plant's vascular system. It's literally cutting its losses to focus all of its remaining resources on core survival. Understanding this completely changes how we diagnose the problem.
Here's our agenda for today's Plant ER Triage. First, the science of leaf drop. Second, diagnosing water issues. Third, environmental shock and stress. Fourth, natural aging versus pests. And finally, pro tips for prevention.
Section 1. The science of leaf drop, identifying the symptoms.
Now consider this your ultimate cheat sheet. Before you start pouring water everywhere or impulsively repotting, look closely at which leaves are dropping and how they feel. If your lower leaves are turning yellow and feel soft or limp, you're probably overwatering. But if the leaves are yellow but feel dry and crispy, your plant is underwatered. A sudden, massive shower of leaves often points to acclimation shock, while a sudden drop of perfectly green leaves usually means temperature stress. And if it's just the oldest bottom leaves falling off one by one, well, that's just natural aging. Keep these symptoms in mind as we break down each specific cause.
Section 2. Diagnosing water issues, the most common culprits.
Okay, so watering issues are the #1 reason plants shed leaves. And contrasting these two extremes makes it incredibly easy to diagnose if yours is drowning or completely parched. Actually, go ahead and check your soil right now. If it's constantly wet and soggy and the base of the stem feels a bit soft, your roots are likely rotting. They're dying and can no longer support the foliage, so the plant sheds its lower leaves. That's overwatering. On the other hand, if you pick up the pot and it feels surprisingly light and the soil is bone dry and rock hard, your plant is in a severe drought. It's sacrificing its dry, crispy leaves just to keep its main stems alive. That's underwatering.
If you diagnosed overwatering, here's your exact fix to stop those lower leaves from dropping. Step 1, and I know this is the hardest thing for us plant parents, stop watering immediately. Just step back. Allow that soil to dry out completely. You also really need to verify that your pot actually has drainage holes, because if water can't escape, the roots are literally suffocating. If the soil smells swampy or the base of the plant feels mushy, you're dealing with severe root rot. In that case, you've got to play surgeon. Unpot the plant, carefully snip away the black, mushy, dead roots, and repot it in fresh, dry, well-aerated soil.
On the flip side, if your plant is underwatering and shedding crispy leaves just to survive the tiny desert you've accidentally created in your living room, you need to rehydrate it immediately. Give it a really deep, thorough watering. Now, if the soil is so bone dry that the water just runs down the sides of the pot and out the bottom without even absorbing, you're going to want to use bottom watering. Just set the pot in a bowl of water for about 30 minutes and let the soil soak it up from the bottom like a sponge. Once it's rehydrated, commit to a consistent watering schedule so it never has to face that kind of drought stress again.
Section 3. Environmental shock and stress when things change too fast.
This perfectly explains our third cause, acclimation shock. Just think about where your plant came from for a second. It was likely raised in this perfect climate-controlled nursery or greenhouse with optimal humidity and light. So when you buy it, shove it in your car, and place it in a dim corner of your house, that is an incredibly jarring transition. Sensitive plants, particularly the notorious fiddly fig, will throw an absolute tantrum, much like a dramatic teenager, and drop a significant number of leaves as they struggle to adjust to these new, less than ideal conditions.
To fix acclimation shock, the answer is usually less action, not more. You simply need to establish a stable environment. Find a forever home in your house that provides the right light for that specific species, set the pot down, and seriously, stop moving it around. Don't drag it from room to room chasing the sunlight. Keep your watering routine stable and just be patient. Expect a little bit of drama for the first few weeks. Once it realizes its environment is secure, the dropping will absolutely stop and it'll acclimate.
Now let's see how this builds into cause number 4, temperature stress. If you walk into a room and notice your plant has suddenly dropped a handful of perfectly healthy, bright green leaves, look around. Is there a drafty window right there? Did someone leave a door open? Is it sitting directly in the path of an air conditioning vent? A sudden chill is a major shock to tropical houseplants, and shedding green leaves is an acute, immediate defense mechanism against that sudden plunge in temperature.
The prescription here is incredibly straightforward. Just protect your tropical plants from the chill. Relocate the plant immediately away from any source of cold air or intense temperature fluctuations. They want a steady, warm environment, just like they'd have in their native habitats.
Section 4. Natural aging versus pests, the inevitable and the invasive.
It's really vital to distinguish between cause number 5, which is natural aging, and cause number 6, pests. Natural aging is literally just the circle of life. It is perfectly normal for a healthy, thriving plant to occasionally turn 1 or 2 of its very oldest, lowest leaves yellow and drop them. It's simply redirecting its energy upward to push out new growth at the top. If the rest of the plant looks amazing, do nothing, just clear the leaf away. However, if the leaf drop is severe and you're seeing fine webbing, sticky residue on the leaves, or tiny visible insects like spider mites or scale, your plant is under attack. These pests are physically draining the life and energy from the plant, forcing it to drop foliage it can no longer support. If pests are stealing your plant's energy, you gotta act like a botanical ER doctor right now. Step 1, isolate the patient immediately so the bugs don't spread to your entire indoor jungle. Step 2, treat it aggressively. Wipe down the leaves to physically remove the pests and apply a high-quality, appropriate insecticide or horticultural oil according to the directions. You absolutely have to break the pest's life cycle if you want to stop the leaf drop.
Section 5, Pro Tips for Prevention, Keeping Your Plant Intact.
By following these core preventative practices, you're going to keep those leaves firmly attached exactly where they belong. First and foremost, establish a consistent watering routine. Since over and underwatering are the top culprits, honestly, mastering your moisture levels solves like 90% of your problems right there. Second, provide a stable environment. Find a spot with the right light, keep them away from drafts and vents, and just let them be. And finally, when you bring a new plant home, expect a little drama. Provide good care and just give it the time it needs to adjust. And as we wrap up this explainer, we absolutely have to address the most heartbreaking question every single plant owner asks after sweeping up a pile of fallen foliage from the floor. Will those beautiful leaves ever grow back on the bare stem?
Well, the hard truth is, no. A plant won't regrow a leaf in the exact same spot where one has fallen off. But hey, you shouldn't be discouraged by that. The entire goal of our triage today wasn't to magically reverse the past, but to fix the root cause and stop any further dropping. Because of your excellent care, your plant now has the energy and stability to push out beautiful, fresh, new growth right at the top. By understanding the real science behind why plants drop their leaves, you've totally leveled up as a plant parent. Which really makes you wonder, if your plants can tell you this much just by dropping a single leaf, what other secret languages are they using right now that you haven't even learned to speak yet?